Nephilim, the word Nephilite really means, what it means is the offspring of giants.
Yeah.
That's what the word Nephilite means.
The Hebrew word being
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Hebrew word is Nephal for giant. So Nephilim meaning those of the Nephilites, or from the origin of the Nephilites, or whatever, So that's where that whole thing comes from. Now, whatever about the word, it's again the same thing about not trying to split hair on certain things. It's not about the word being used, but it's about the doctrine of, reads like this. That the sons of God, from verse 1, the sons of God beheld the daughters of man, and that they were fair. And they took of themselves wives of the daughters of man. That's Hebrews chapter 6, verse 1. And they took themselves wives because they believed that they were beautiful women, and they married them. Angels. Because Genesis 6, if you read it, says it was he never called it angels. Never. He said it is sons of God. Sons of God. But we know that we know that Job chapter 1 says that God had a meeting with the sons of God. So sons of God has been there since the book of Genesis. And there's other references, even in the New Testament, referencing sons of God in the book of Genesis. So sons of God has been a thing. But now let's read what God says about sons of God versus angels, and what angels are, and what sons are, and what the meaning of them individually are. Now, before I even read this, I want to explain something to you about this whole thing about sons of men and sons of God. Right throughout the Old Testament, God always said with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob, and with Israel, the whole nation of Israel, do not take of yourselves wives of these foreign nations. Do not take of yourselves wives of these foreign nations, but take of yourselves wives of my people, God's people. Paul taught the same thing in the New Testament. He said, do not be unequally yoked with a what? An unbeliever. So Paul taught the same teaching. He brought the same teaching into the New Testament. You understand? It's an old teaching. That's why he differentiates between the sons of men and the sons of God, or the daughters of men and the sons of God. Sons of God are people. They are who? God's people. You follow what I'm saying? It's not something to do with some terrestrial being that came down and had sex with a woman and there was giants born unto us. It had to do with the people of God. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what people do is they say, well, but all men fell in Genesis chapter 1. All men did not fall in Genesis chapter 1. If all men fell in Genesis chapter 1, what about Abraham? Because Luke 16, Abraham was in heaven. Matthew chapter 1, it says that Jesus is the son of Abraham, the son of David. So Abraham was a son. You follow what I'm saying? So all men did not fall. The curse happened progressively. It didn't all happen in one day. The word Adam, when Adam fell, when man fell, that is Romans chapter 3. When man fell, the word Adam there is man. It's not when man fell, all men fell into sin. It doesn't mean it didn't say it all happened in one day. It just means all fell. You understand what I'm saying? All men came back, eventually went to that point. That's what that means. Amen? So now let's read Hebrews chapter 1. I'm going to start from verse 4. Being made, this is talking about Jesus, being made so much better than the angels, as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For which of the angels did the Father ever say, "You are my son"? So an angel is not a son. Today I have begotten you. In the king, forgive me, in the Amplified it says, establish you as a son in kingly dignity. And again did he ever say to the angels, I shall be a father to him, and he shall be a son to me. In other words, again, he's never said it to an angel. An angel is not a son according to Hebrews chapter 1. So that interpretation that the sons are angels is a unscriptural definition. It's not biblical. You understand? I shall be a father to him, and he shall to be a son to me. Okay? And when he again brings the firstborn into the world, he says, talking about Jesus, and all the angels of God are to worship him. Sons doesn't worship sons. Angels worship sons. And concerning the angels, he says, who makes his angels winds and his ministering servants flames of fire. But about the Son, your throne, O God, is forever and ever, and the scepter of your righteousness, the scepter of his kingdom. You have loved righteousness and have hated lawlessness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness above your companions. And you, Lord, laid the foundation of the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain forever. And they will wear out like a garment, and like a rose. And like a robe you will roll them up. Like a garment they will be changed. But you are the same forever and ever, and your years will never end. But to which of the angel, verse 13, angels has the Father ever said, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool? A footstool for your feet. Are not the angels ministering spirits sent out to serve those who will inherit salvation? So what are angels? Servants. They can be messengers, but they are servants. And they are ministering spirits. They are not sons.